happy
Good
penguin
morning.
island life. We
Good
lay,
morning,
we
everyone.
lay in
Thanks for
a
joining us.
cabana.
Todd's over there serenading us this morning.
Cabana life for me.
Go ahead, Todd.
Oh, background music. Background,
Yeah, I was trying to start us off with a little festivities here.
background band left.
I hope everybody's having a great morning. Well, good morning, Lag. Good morning, Bumcrack. Hope you are doing good. I'm
Bum
back.
crack lag.
Yeah, I hit the big lag. I hit the big lag. I hit the big lag. I hit the big go live button. Good morning, John. Good morning, Vintage.
Yeah, don't hit the lag button.
Yeah, we don't want to hit, we have enough problems with that as it is. I don't know where it was. I might have messed something up. I don't know. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things here. So,
You're only gone 4 days. What are you talking about?
yeah, but I didn't have to do nothing except get dressed and be in the dining room.
That, that's the life for me, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, so it was a good trip. That was my first time sailing on Royal Caribbean.
be right back.
Okay. And it was good. I don't see now. We haven't been on a cruise on Carnival since we went before the pandemic, and that has changed a lot of things. Like on the menu on Royal Caribbean, it was a lot smaller. Just how they did things. Um, One thing to note, if you've got any cruises planned in the future and you don't have a passport, you should go ahead and apply for a passport. Because according to um, the worker at the terminal, when you go in, if you have a passport, they scan your passport. You back, Todd?
Yeah, I'm back. I had to kiss an angel. Good morning.
Okay. Oh, you just singing this morning. Uh, when you board the ship or you're doing a process of boarding the ship, they scan your passport. So when you leave the ship, you just walk. They sort you. If you got a passport, you go down this line. If you just got your birth certificate and driver's license, you send you down this line. When for the passport, you just walk up to a camera and they just shoot your picture and then send you on the way. They you do facial recognition. On the other one, you have to stand and they have to look at your documents and look at your face, and it took forever. So we won't be able to get it back, our passports back in time for the one in 3 weeks, but the one in December we should have our passport, so we won't have to deal with that. And the woman, um, immigrations person, said that this was something new that had just started, and this is what was going to be the way they're going to do it in the future. And she said, she kind of leaned into me. And she said, the intent is that everybody that are regular cruisers will go ahead and get their passports. So it'll make it real easy to get everybody out of there.
Yeah. Boy, our post office is great getting a passport to you.
We have a
People, our small town, people will drive down from Fort Worth, Dallas, drive up from Austin, all over this region. They'll drive for 2, 3 hours to come to our post office to get a passport. I said, why do you do that? They say, well, if you sign up in Dallas, they put you on a 3-month waiting list. So,
Wow.
Has,
So,
has anybody checked on Mr. Sadie lately?
No.
You know, they put that that whatever the hell she's called on his can on Bud Light cans, and so many people are giving up Anheuser-Busch. He's probably had a stroke. He's
Well,
either got he's got to support the craziness, or he has to change beers.
I'm gonna look this up.
Have you not seen that? They put that Dylan Mulvaney, and then on a can to celebrate her 100 days of being a woman, and
Yeah.
they made gay pride Bud Light cans. You haven't seen that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Come on, Roberta. Are you trying to keep them up to date on all this?
What's the guy's name?
she was saying, yeah, she's heard it.
Or
No,
what's the lady's name?
Yeah, I was saying,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
There is no lady.
Or man or whatever?
Dylan Mulvaney.
it's a fucking man. So a man's on a beer. Wow, there's a novel concept.
He was he was born with male parts. That's a dude.
Yeah, he's a man.
What man's a stretch, but
Well, good point. Good point.
male.
And I'm
Male
offended
species.
that it's saying it's a woman. I'm glad that he can do everything I can do.
Do y'all hear her?
Wow.
So y'all know my obsession when I go buying shit that I never sell. So I found the perfect coffee mug at an estate sale.
I thought it was a lens for a camera.
It's a coffee mug.
Is that the one that keeps your drink hot?
Yeah, it's insulated.
I mean, they got like electric ones.
Nah, this is not. That's inside. Johnny's already used that today. Yeah, know your customer. If you go on TikTok at all, like every 8th or 10th TikTok is somebody pouring out beer. Somebody got the old cartoons, Real Men of Genius.
Beer, that's the problem.
Great marketers of Anheuser-Busch, 20 years of, and they show all the ones, and they go, and then you fucking do this.
Looks like Sephora using it.
Who is this person?
Dylan Mulvaney. It's the girl. It's the guy who thinks he's a girl who had 100 days of girlhood.
Oh,
Talking about tampons. And
is that the real skinny dude?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one who had plastic
Hey,
surgery.
Oh, I feel so much like a woman. I parked my, I wrecked my car. Burnt dinner. All of these cliches.
Okay,
And
well.
that's how he pictures a woman.
I just, I'm just done it. I'm over it all.
So yeah,
Do what you want to do. Just, that is your opinion. That's your opinion. It might not be my opinion, and my opinion is all that matters to me.
Yeah, but I don't want to walk down the aisle at Walmart and see his picture in the beer aisle.
Exactly.
No, I'm just saying, you can believe, people can believe what they want, but that's their opinion, and I have the right to my opinion.
But
well, the problem is
corporations are pushing that on us.
and so many young people look at that and go, well, it's okay to do that whenever it's a mental disease. They need psychiatric help,
Yep.
and it's just
Some of
crazy.
it's a mental disease. Some of it is just people looking for attention because they can't get it any other way.
That's what
Did
this one is. This one's attention.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He doesn't have gender dysphoria. He just wants attention, and he's gotten it, and so it's just feeding it.
Mm.
And Tim, in the South, this LSU thing. There between LSU and South Carolina, how many times can we scream race? How many times can in a game can LSU's head coach run into the referee out in the middle of the court and not get called for anything, but yet the white girl, flips the ball in a timeout, and that's a technical that ends their run. They're a bunch of thugs. South Carolina hit it right on the head. She goes, "We're not just a bunch of thugs." Oh hell yes, y'all are a bunch of thugs.
Yep.
You're the biggest thug. You race
Yep.
up.
That was, people were following that on the ship. You'd walk past groups of people and they were talking about the ball games. What was it? Women's basketball and men's baseball or something like that, or
It was the women's tournament, and what should have been one of the. They've got the most attention on them. You've got really good teams. The black woman loses, and it's all about everything. Everybody's against us because of our race. They're calling us monkeys and all this stuff, and nobody has said a word about this team, other than one of them said when you're going up the rebound against the team, it's like you're in a bar fight, because they're very physical.
right?
That doesn't call you a thug. That doesn't call you anything. That's just how they describe the physicality of a game, and yeah.
It's a guy I went to high school with. He was a coach for high school boys, basketball and football and baseball, because it was a real small team. And his wife was the coach for the girls' sports, and she hurt her ankle real bad, and she was not allowed to get out of a chair except to go to the potty, but so he and the assistant coach had to work with the girls. He said, "Those girls are a bunch of bitches." He said, "My boys would never do what those girls would do." He said they will push and shove and just about get into a fight over the littlest thing. And he said he was glad when his wife came back to work so he could be done with them. But he said they were a lot more hostile than the boys' teams were.
Well, the problem is one of the things that the white girl, whatever her name is, on Iowa, she would do the John Cena every now and then. You can't see me. The problem is they're given one of the LSU players did the same thing, and they're trying to portray it as, oh, she did the same thing. If it's hatred on one side, it's got to be hatred on the other. The problem is, Tom, and you just described it, is she would do it in the middle of a game or whatever. It was just she'd move her hand, not at anybody. The LSU player, after they had won the fucking game and claimed the title, went over to the Iowa bench as she is upset and did this shit in her face and started pointing at a ring finger that she's just won a ring. Nowhere, show me in history of any other sport where a competitor has won a championship and gone and mugged in the face of the other team. It hasn't happened. This is a straight up thug, poor sportsmanship, terrible person move. And I don't care what anybody says. You'll never convince me otherwise. I've never seen it in sports. Show me another example.
Thank you for joining us today on the Roberta and Scott Show.
Look at Alabama and Georgia, bitter rivals in the Southeastern Conference. Whenever we beat them on that last play in 2018, there wasn't no showmanship. There wasn't no anything. There was a lot of congratulations on both sides. They both had great teams. Same thing when we lost to Georgia a few years later. It's not, there's none of that in your face. It doesn't happen in male sports.
Well, my brother and his family, who is the group of people I was with on this cruise, are big Super USC fans. And I don't give a damn, okay?
Right.
I don't give a damn. This is, you're supposed to be getting an education and and having some fun with it, but when your life is totally dominated by a child's ball game, I think people need to get some therapy, because there was whenever they announced the winner of the girls team, you know, you could hear cheers all throughout the ship and all that kind of crap. And I mean, I pull for Podunk University out of Wet Bottom, North Carolina. Okay, that's my team I pull for. I just don't care. It's not that important. And for the most people, they leave college sports and they're nothing. You know,
And so,
because there's people out there that's better. They get on the pro teams, and you know,
so that's another weird thing. So most of the time you leave college to go to the pros. The chick Caitlin, whatever her name is, on Iowa is gonna. She got 2 years of eligibility, and she's probably gonna play 2 more years of college ball because her NIL money is over $1 million. The highest paid WNBA player is 252,000. She'd have to take a 75% pay cut to go play in the pros.
you know, I like when like one of the local teams wins, except for Duke and for North Carolina, because those fans are like those damn Alabama fans. They are so obsessed with those schools. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But that's not even in my. They were starting talking about the girls winning. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I just don't stay into it.
So vintage memories. I watched one of Alabama's games. We played 4. I watched. I've got to the point. I grew up in North Carolina, just like Tom, in that area. I used to love college basketball. Jim Valvano and those memories dominated my childhood. NC State was my team, and when Low Charles put that basket back in, him and Wittenberg, I can remember everything about that time. But basketball has gotten to the point where it's so dominated by referees, I can't watch the game. The outcome of close games is whether or not the whistle is blown or how they call a game. Why did Alabama lose? Alabama had played a style all year. The more physical the team, the more trouble we had. Even if we went cold shooting, our defense was usually good enough. But we ran into a team that mugged us. They hit us and hand checked us more than any team, and we lost to the team who made it last night to the finals. But they allowed that team to treat us like we were in a bar fight. We lost. And no other game was called that way. How do you prepare? It's very frustrating, the referees in college basketball, so I don't watch it. To find out who won, I had to go look at ESPN this morning to find out that Connecticut won this morning.
Let me catch up who's joining.
Yeah, they didn't have much trouble either. They led all the way.
I had not seen them play, but evidently they've got a white kid that's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, he played good too.
Good morning, Glock. Good morning, Anissa. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Bridget. Yeah, I love Roberta too. That's what Bridget says. I love Roberta. John, good morning, Lag. I've already spoke to you. Anybody else I'm called in here?
Jim and Kara just came in.
They need to come in here. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Jim and Tara.
I'm telling you, Larry's not in the chat. Somebody checked on Larry. Let's check. I'll text him and see.
He was around last night. We played about an hour and a half of poker together, and then we both got beat.
Yeah, is it Mick Ultra that he drinks?
Yes.
They had that in the cases every place on that ship. And when we were in the cabanas out on the beach, they even had it in the little refrigerators. So I thought of Mr. Sadie all the time because he was everywhere.
Did you get you one so you could pretend to be a girl?
No, I didn't. I only had a drink at night. And not too many, like one a night. I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah, I sent him a text. Just checking on you since your beer went blank. Smiley face.
When I asked the guy if he had cold scotch, he looked at me like, what? I said, scotch that's been chilled, because some people like me likes just their scotch in a glass, and if it's chilled, it's even better. But you add ice to it, then it starts diluting it. But anyway, I did every place I went, I'd see Mick Ultra, and I'd think of Mr. Sadie.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok last night that reminded me of Mr. Sadie. This girl was doing something with her aunt, and her aunt was looking at something on a phone, and she had put those little tiny plastic hands, and she'd reach over and touch the phone with that little hand, and the aunt never paid any attention. It was a little plastic, little bitty tiny hand touching it. She even patted her on the hand and everything else. I mean, I'm like, that's what happens to Larry every day.
Bridget, I did not see any difference between the two cruise lines, except they don't have chocolate lava cake on Royal Caribbean, so they get a big old X on that
And
one.
you don't have Christmas.
And they don't have the ship's Christmas ornaments. They get an X on that one.
Your blood sugar probably thanked you for it.
You know what? I honestly did not. I was sitting last night thinking about what all I ate. I really did not eat a lot on this cruise this time. I mean, we had breakfast, but breakfast was,
If I went
bacon
on a
and
cruise,
eggs.
eating keto, eating, I'd go straight carnivore and just eat steaks and.
Okay, y'all, watch out. Trouble's coming to the club. Good morning, the Carries.
Hi, I'm in trouble.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's as awful as the Anheuser-Busch commercials. There you go.
And I won't have to watch TV to see commercials. Just sitting here, I came up with a marketing ploy. I'm going to release my own. I'm going to release my own bottled water. It says the man's water.
Yeah. So Larry said, laughing my ass off. Yeah, I had decisions to make over here. LOL.
I was a cruise Tom. Thought I had talked about it.
First of all, Tori, you need to get a little closer to your mic. You were sounding like the teacher on the Charlie Brown. Rah, rah, rah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It
your
was a lot of fun.
microphone is
Roberta
messed
wasn't
up.
with me, so I missed that.
You going to come in here and you going to tell everybody what you did yesterday? Mama could not find one of her earbuds. I found it, drug it out in the backyard, and tore it up.
And when he says he's talking about the puppy, not him.
Okay. So what'd you do the day before? Day before, I found Eddie's CPAP mask, which wasn't lost, and chewed it up. What'd you do the day before? Well, I was sitting in Daddy's lap, and I knocked the remote out of his lap, and a couple minutes later, I just jumped down, and I thought he had gone back in there with Joni. No, he had got the remote back and chewed the back, so now the back doesn't feel in the remote anymore.
You need to get him some teething rings.
That's been my last 3 days, everybody. Look how cute I am.
How's things going up in the big metro area of Kentucky, Tara?
She got no mic.
Okay. Anywho,
They're probably using Jim's old computer like he tried to use on Rumble the other night. It took him a while to straighten that thing out.
they have a nice cruise facility down there at Port Colonel.
And then Mama said this morning I was 100% crazy. Long time. Boy, that's the longest tongue I ever seen. You part snake.
I tell you what. Those folks that was on that island that we were on when we went over to the beach. Our attendant was really nice and really good, and really enjoyed him, and we had time because he only had 2 cabanas because one of them they didn't show up, and they paid anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 for this cabana, depending on when you booked it. And so he had extra time to talk to us, and he said, we asked him, I said, what's the people like that you're dealing with? And he's like, most times it's like y'all are just having a good time. I bring drinks to you. They had the alcoholic drink package, my niece and her husband, and my niece's daughter and her partner. So he was bringing them fresh drinks like every 20 minutes. But he said that every once in a while he would get some people in there and they think they are the queen or king of the world, and they're really hard and demanding, and I'm thinking, well, that's just being in the service industry, and
Yeah, but you don't have to act the way
Yeah.
people suck. I mean,
I mean,
that's a problem that it didn't happen in our parents' generation. They didn't look down upon what you did for, you know what I mean? Because you could work a regular job and afford things, but now that it takes 2 people and you've got that, we've tricked everybody into thinking you've got to have a degree or you're nothing, and so many people look down upon, that's he is taking care of a family. He is just working a job where there's nothing wrong with any of that, but so many people look down upon. I'm like, yeah, to hell with them folks. I hate them kind of people.
I just, go do it. Go get it yourself. If you don't want it, then you walk your ass a dadgum half mile to the damn bar and get you a mojito or whatever. Since you were talking about Mr. Sadie, I won $125 in the bingos. And then I won $35 at a poker machine.
Say you're old without saying you're old. I want I want a bingo.
I won at bingo. And so I came back with a $19 credit on my card.
I bet if we can see Roberta, she's probably there filling out your application for the old folks home.
She loves bingo. I keep getting we keep getting.
Has Roberta got that basket full of daubers to mark numbers on the sheets?
She does get information on assisted living all the time here. She's getting ready for me. So I had to play some bingo for her. And of course I would have to win. When she's not there.
Yeah, Anissa's right. Tom probably belongs to all of them. He's probably in the legions and all them.
No.
So
No, I don't. I only play bingo when we go on cruises.
you didn't drink so much you couldn't pay attention to the numbers called?
I didn't drink a lot at all. I think. Let's see. I had the scotch one night. I know I had 2 or 3 drinks, but I can't remember what it was. The scotch one night, and I don't remember what it was, but I don't drink a lot.
Yeah, so today when we go to Wings night tonight, I'm gonna mess with Tracy. Me and Tracy always drink Miller Lite, but I'm gonna tell him that He now has to adopt Bud Light.
Okay.
All right, now can you hear me?
I can hear
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
You sound awesome.
There you go. You mean you went on a cruise and you went and played bingo?
Yeah.
You couldn't do something more fun, like go down a water slide or do something? You went and played
My
bingo?
Have y'all ever watched the movie, the Eddie Murphy movie, Norbit? Okay, well you need to watch Norbit.
I know what you're
There's some clips on it. There's one part where his girlfriend
talking about. I
Rasputia
don't know if
goes down
I
a
don't know.
slide board.
I've ever sat through from beginning.
All right, you're glitchy again. You were good for a second, Tara, and now you're glitchy again.
All right. So did anybody else get their yard sale season back this week?
Do something. Swim with the dolphins or something. I don't know.
I just had my garage sale
I
Saturday.
did go snorkeling.
Man, we got garage sales back, and man, was it awesome! What a weekend!
Yeah, I spent 200 on Friday and sold 825 on Saturday.
Yeah, I bought. Has anybody ever seen? Did y'all know that Frigidaire made small appliances? So that's a Frigidaire panini press. I think they used it once. She said, it's got. I can't tell. There's like one little spot of grease. That's it. She charged me $8 for it. It's got the manual. I put it inside so I wouldn't lose it.
Yeah.
But that damn thing on eBay is worth $130.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we were at this. I don't know what she was doing. So she had you know what the Cuisinart burr grinders look like? She had one of those for $2. I think they're worth in the 40 range. She had a little small spice nut grinder, $2. I'm like, are you just giving up cooking and stuff altogether?
No, I came back, I think.
All right, you're back now.
You're back.
Yeah, my internet is also being stupid.
Yeah, this wine preservation thing
Right.
is worth like 40, 50 bucks on eBay. I paid $2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sterling silver Southwestern rings.
Yeah, that's what the bird grinder looks like.
$7.50.
Those are nice rings.
They are.
Did you get them at
Big.
auction or
No, at the garage sale Friday.
how much?
Paid 15 for 2.
Wow.
They're worth about. They got to be 30 a piece.
Yeah.
Haven't listed them yet.
I had half a van full, but I took most of it to auction. Those are the couple pieces I kept. The little bitty grinder was missing the plastic top that you can use it as a container. So I sent it to auction, but it still worked. It had all the stuff that lady had manuals with it. What you doing, little one? You're out
You
here.
know, they're always on these cruise ships. They're always wanting you to spend your money. So, of course, when you get to your room, you've got all this paperwork, for sales and stuff like that, on board sales. And one of the things was get a free bracelet. But you got to read this real small print when you buy these charms. And so what you do is you get one of these little wire bracelets. It's got the little balls on each end that clips around your wrist, but you don't get it unless you spend $10 to buy the 5 little charms that goes on it. My niece was talking about. I said, "Okay, you're going to have to buy something to get that free bracelet," and she's like, "No, it says it's a free bracelet." So she went over there and talked to the guy, and of course they ended up spending $30 on charms to go on that free bracelet they got.
Your mama left you, didn't she? That's why you're out here with me. Your mama left you. It's terrible.
That's just the way it is.
It's terrible. She went.
Like, you ought to have seen some of the jewelry that was on that ship. There's a big old stuff on that, a big old jewelry on that thing. I don't know how some of these women can walk with those bead sets they had on their neck. You know, the big ones is about the size of a good 2 inches in diameter, and then it goes down to, you know, like a quarter-inch ones.
You can sit here.
I went to one of those classes on board our last cruise that taught us how to buy high-end watches, and they had all kinds. But at the end, if you stayed to the end, you got they had a drawing for a free $120 watch, and I won it. So I sold it on eBay for $15. That's all it was worth on eBay.
Boy, they have a jewelry store on that place, and it was pretty much watches, and they had is it Moldova? What is it? Something like that.
I thought
It's a
you were
watch.
gonna tell us you had a class on how to make baskets, and they were going to leave you on the islands as a native.
Yeah, most of that cheap crap you buy just
I
for
flunked that class.
just for future reference. Most of that cheap crap that you buy down there is made in China.
See, Tom. Here's what you can do, because I know where you live. You can get them on the ship to teach you how to make baskets, and then along like highway, whatever, some of those highways down around Myrtle Beach, you can sit on the road in one of them little huts and sell your baskets on the side of the road.
That's right.
I've never seen anything like it. If y'all haven't been through South Carolina traveling, I forget I think it's Highway 17 or whatever it is.
It's 17.
On the way to Charleston, but there'll be like every mile or two, there'll be like a little. It's just like something with a lean-to, and people sit out there and make baskets and sell baskets on the side of the road in the summer. I'm like, it's too damn hot. What the hell's wrong with these people selling baskets on the side of the road?
Yeah, Craig, you're right. Relaxing. Eating, drinking, and relaxing. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, as we were coming home yesterday, my brother and I were talking, and Larry's 5 years older than I am, so he's 70. We're driving along, you know, in about 83 miles an hour and still getting past. When people used to drive to Florida before all the interstates were connected up to, 95 was connected all the way to Florida. It must have took them forever to get down there. I mean, I guess that's the reason there were so many little roadside motels and stuff like that. Because I thought we would never get back to South Carolina at 80 miles an hour.
Well,
And,
look at Route 66. How long it would take to. I mean, it starts in California and kind of meanders almost to Chicago before it goes across. I mean, it takes.
it's I'm serious. It's just a long damn way. And I told my niece, I said, right now I'm saying that Royal Caribbean is just as good as Carnival. I said, now we're going in 3 weeks, and I'll give you some more feedback on how it is after the pandemic. But I would just as soon drive 3 hours to Charleston than 8 hours to Orlando to get on a boat.
Yeah, Charleston's got traffic, but it's like here. Those big interstates kind of push people out. At least help alleviate some of the. I mean, I'm sure it's like it is here. It's still pain in 8 o'clock and 5 o'clock, but
Yeah.
it helps. At least they've got a way to relieve the pressure. You know, we've got a big parkway and an interstate that kind of hit Huntsville. So as long as you don't hit town at those 2 times, I mean, it moves wonderful.
Well, Carnival is going out of Jacksonville because we saw their ship, and it's like take 95 to Jacksonville and get on 295, and then as soon as you get on 295, you're getting off at 295 because the cruise port's right there on the right.
The problem with 95 is somewhere in southern North Carolina, it goes 2-lane, and it stays 2-lane until the middle of Georgia, and that's the worst. All through South Carolina is 2-lane, and that is I-65 through Alabama is mainly 2 lane. It is. There were people that were going to the beach and it was spring break. They were bitching on Facebook that it took them from Birmingham to the beach is 4 hours. It was taking them 8-9 hours to get down there.
It's
Sadie, how much did you bet on that game last night? Travesty.
but there was some there was some people from New York that was ready to get back to New York because they must have been doing 90 when they passed us.
I don't get that. You've been in the South most of the time. You want to retire down here, but you're in a hurry to get back to that shithole.
Well,
I assume everybody with a New York plate's going to New York City, which, if you're going to upstate New York or the middle of New York, that's a beautiful country. I don't have any problem with it. But I assume when I say New York plate, they're all going to the city.
yeah. Well, when we got on 26 headed towards Columbia off of 95. 95 from Florida, and then you get on 26 and go towards Columbia, and then 77 directly into Charlotte. So we were on 26, and we had about 4 cars with North Carolina, with New York tags on it. Passes, and Larry said, "I think they're going the wrong way, aren't they?" I said, "No." I said, "I've got a friend that lives up in near Niagara Falls, and that they come through Charlotte because they're out on the western side." But I'm sure it was really nice. The weather was really nice down there, but I imagine when it gets to be July, it gets kind of warm down there.
Oh yeah, Harlan and I were talking the other day when it was cold. We're like, I can see why people move to Florida to get away from this. But people don't realize if you're not used to this humidity, good God Almighty, that shit'll kill you for a couple of years.
Oh yeah. A friend of mine came. She lived out in Denver for a long time, or still lives out there. She came back with her husband, who had never been to Charleston. His parents wanted to come to Charleston, do some sightseeing and the history, and go to the plantations and whatnot. And they were talking about coming in August. I said, "Don't come in August." I said, "The humidity's at 500%. And they came in August, and her mother just about passed out, or her mother-in-law just about passed out when she came outside the terminal to get in their rental car.
Yeah, that's folks. It's hard for us, and we're used to it. If you're not used to it, it'll.
They don't do the high humidity reports for the tourist. If the tourists are not even there, they're doing high humidity. Because you don't want to put on your Saks Fifth Avenue frock and go out in 400% humidity. You will look like you're wearing something from Walmart in about 10 minutes.
At least during the hottest time of the year here, it's dry. So
Yeah, it doesn't happen. That's why on the 127, which I don't know why they do that on the first weekend in August. I mean, it starts in Alabama, folks. I mean, the people in Michigan must have been the one that made it up. I'm going to Ohio because I'm going to jump out of some of this humidity. Ohio won't be. I mean, it's not going to be a cakewalk, but you'll lose some humidity going north.
There was a older couple that was on a lot of older couples that was on the ship, and one time I'm just kind of like sitting and hanging out, watching everybody going. Honestly, watching the freaks on the promenade. Let's put it bluntly. And this guy says, this old guy comes up and says, "You mind if I sit here while my wife's shopping?" I said, "Sure, go ahead," because it was a little 2-person table. And we were talking, and he is a native. He is a native of Miami. And they live in Miami during the winter, and then they go to Ohio during the summer just to get away from the temperature and the tourists. Yeah, Glock, those older couples, when you're in the mindset that I am, that I'm young and svelte, and You know, I just forget that I'm one of those old people. Um, I did find while we were in Nassau, I did find a boat. It's like 383 feet long. It's called the Kismet. It's for sale for like $120 million.
This is a swinger cruise.
Yeah, it is a swinger cruise.
It's probably as big as that one that. Have you seen the one that Bezos built?
Yeah,
He had to pay $1 million to take that bridge down and put it back up just to get it out of there.
yeah.
They weren't very happy with him.
See, they spend these hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for these yachts. I would just go over and spend 8 and get me a former cruise ship, and then have it redone in the style that I wanted it. You know.
Yeah, that's the genius of Trump. You know, look at his plane. It's a former whatever, DC, whatever it is, and he didn't start with new. I mean, he's done it. He's done it over a couple times. It might as well be new now.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. You know, every so many flight hours, they have to redo the engines.
Yeah, his boat just got redone. I think it's just got 2 engines on. I think that boat redid.
Yeah, when he was running for president the first time, you know, people were making jokes about his wife was going to have to learn to live in a bad neighborhood, and she was having to fly on a secondhand plane. Because Trump 1 is supposed to be really nice on the inside.
Yeah, I've seen tours of not since they redid it this last time. It's supposed to be really over the top now, but yeah, he had their engines replaced and put more powerful engines on this thing, and I mean this plane is.
There is a yeah, I mean, you know, those planes are expensive.
But even if you've got like you're talking about, your dad shared one when you were growing up, even the small ones are expensive to operate.
Oh yeah, you have to have that thing inspected every year, and,
Every year it's gotta
and
pass
if you have it inspected, you do the annual inspection, and then your engine runs over the number of hours it has to have before another inspection. You turn around and have it inspected again,
Because it's got to be overhauled. Yep.
and now there is subdivisions that have their own airport, their own airstrip. They're called fly-ins.
Yeah, Wilmington had one of those. It's really cool down by the beach. You just, you know, they park their planes in the big garages beside their houses.
Yeah. If you don't have, otherwise you're parking them at an airport, and it costs money, a lot of money, to leave that thing parked out there.
So have you seen John Travolta's house where he parks that big 737 beside his house?
Yeah. Yeah, Glock. Those jets, those big jets, they run. You know, just an annual maintenance fee on those things are out of this world.
But
I mean, it's like those boats too. You
The
spend
boat-
$10 million. Let's say you spend $10 million for a yacht. You're going to spend at least $1 million a year on upkeep on that thing.
yeah, because that's what I was going to say. You got to have crew. You got to have a captain. You got to have crew.
Yeah,
'Cause, you know, if you can afford that, you're not going to be the one cleaning it and doing all that stuff.
absolutely. You're going to have a full crew on those things, and all that money. And those captains are not cheap. There is a YouTuber, the Yacht Captain or something like that. I've watched it, and he talks about his being a captain of a yacht, and you know, a yacht, you know, a $10 million yacht caught on fire next to his, and the only thing he could think of is, I got to get this bitch out of here before it catches on fire.
I mean, because you could do sailboats. I watch a lot of sailing channels, and they're expensive catamarans and stuff that people live aboard. You know, maybe 700,000, 800,000.
Yeah.
But anything bigger than 60 foot, you're talking about. It's hard. You can't get in marinas.
And after a certain length, you've got to have a captain's license. even though you own it.
Yeah, I know you can do at least 60 foot because
Yeah.
one of the big channels is building a 60 foot right now. They get it in a couple months. So they don't need one, but they're talking. You know, they never go into port much anyway, so they're not worried about it. But then I watch another one who bought a 44 because they go into port every time they get to a new country, and they didn't want to have to deal with something any bigger.
So it's, you've got to have money to have those things. I mean, big money, because it costs a lot for those things. And the bigger they get, and a lot of these things look like a Las Vegas nightclub. They do tours of them, they're not, I don't think they're very homey. And if I spend $100 million for a damn yacht, I want to feel like I'm at home.
If I didn't get seasick on the dock, I would live on a catamaran.
Do you really?
I'll be driving. I think I'm already seasick, and we ain't even in the parking lot yet.
But it's like I said, there's some pretty nice ones in Nassau Harbor.
But the secret to those the YouTube channels I watch, the secret to those channels is the guys are very handy. Because if you're going to do that kind of stuff, you got to be able to carry spare parts and fix your own stuff. Because you're out in the middle of Uzbekistan somewhere on a boat, you're not getting an Amazon package to replace a motor, a fan, a whatever. You better be able to change it, diagnose and change it yourself.
One of the guys that he's a captain of a yacht that I follow. His mechanic is this beautiful, like 26-year-old girl who's got more curves than 40 miles of bad North Carolina roads. And one day they were having problems with one of the injectors on the diesel engine. And he went down there with his camera, his GoPro, and he says, "How are we coming?" And she looks up and she's got like I don't know what you call them. They're like a tank top, but they're cut off right below the boobs.
Yeah.
And shorts on. And she's covered. She is covered in grease.
I think it's
she's
called
been messing with pulling that gum injector off of there.
Yeah, I think it's called a tankini.
Sports bra. Her Grace said it was a sports bra. But she was down there and she was fixing it. And she says, "We'll be ready to go in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, so Glock said, yeah, you're right. I do watch him. I haven't seen him. It's way YouTube doesn't serve him up. I don't know why he doesn't get a lot. I have to go looking for him. But yeah, Craigslist Hunter's business partner. Last time I saw, he was over in Indonesia somewhere. Very interesting.
So we talked about it once before, but I think we all need to get together and try to do a cruise. Lag, we might all get together and put our money together to get you a cabin, an inside cabin, so you can come along with us. And
Lag lives with his mom and doesn't pay rent. He's gonna pay for all of us.
Okay.
Have they got a basement on those ships?
Yeah, I still think Lag's a 42-year-old mother of 3. But we really need to. I really think we need to do that. So, anything happening in reselling lately?
I heard one channel say they're fixing to do away with first class.
That little red camera that sits up here that I showed y'all that was so expensive, it went out yesterday. Somebody paid $250 for it. That was good.
Is that one of the ones you bought for like $5 or something?
Yeah, and I had to order the charger for it. Yeah, that was
Yeah. Todd's already got all his he's already got all his shipping done.
I've only got a couple this morning. I think I've got 6 on Amazon, 2 on eBay.
All 6 packages. Woohoo!
I put my little piddly store on vacation mode, and on Friday I'm just, we're just kind of like chilling out, ready for the boat to leave because we got on the boat at 10:30 in the morning, and I get this text message from this lady says, "Is there any way if I bought this right now, you can get it out in the mail today?" And I responded and said, "No, ma'am. There's no way I can do it. I am 8.5 hours away from my house, and there's nobody at home to ship it." Well, then you should have had it online. And I said, that's the reason why I had it in vacation mode. So I guess you bought it from somebody else that could ship it that day. So anything else, Scott? You sell anything big for that you paid $4 for and got 500 for it?
That was the best one.
Miss Joni doing okay?
Yeah, so she volunteers on Tuesday and Thursday, and she's not supposed to be there till what 12. But she goes and helps. She gets some kind of a B12 shot or something on Tuesday, so she goes a little early, and she goes in early to help the volunteer coordinator do something. So her and her buddy have figured out if they make it there before 10, the doctors that cater everything, they get free lunch.
Wow. What you got there, Todrick?
The World War II bayonet. Auction ends today at 3. And I've got a $93 bid. So it's doing good.
I sold 2 pairs of 2XL big girl things. That's what
Thanks.
I counted them the other day. I've got 77 cases of that shit. So big girls need to come on. They need to suck in their guts. I'll help them.
Oh Lord! So you doing the show tomorrow?
Oh yeah. I was so confused yesterday. I thought it was Tuesday. I was like last night. I sat down. I'm like, I gotta make the show for tomorrow. Oh fuck! Wait a minute. It's Monday.
Yeah. It's been hard to keep up with the dates for the last few days, having that, not having to do anything except get up and go to the dining room and eat.
Yeah, I gotta fix the truck camera too, because it's confusing whenever I start the truck and the mirror comes on, because I have
Right.
one of the video camera mirrors. It's showing the front because I stepped on the back whenever I was playing Outdoorsman.
Right.
So yeah, I gotta fix that because it's.
I tell you what, there are some trucks down there. I know there's times where they have flooding down there just because of the rain. But there was a couple of, let's see, of course there was trucks and Jeeps that had like, I don't know, 36-inch wheels on them, 48-inch wheels on them. And then you'd see the occasional 1974 Caprice Classic down there, where they've jacked them up and they put those big old tires on them. I'm thinking, boy, I don't want to live down here if that's the only way you can get around.
Yeah, you live right there in the middle where they have your biggest thing is to deal with the Carolina squat.
Yeah. But it was enjoyable. So if anybody's going out of Port Canaveral, there's a hotel. What's the name of that hotel, honey? It's the Hotel de Suites. And we could actually look out of our room and see the ships. It's real close. It's real convenient. I did a video I'll put up at some point, but about it. But like I said, if y'all cruise out, or if you cruise and you cruise out of there, then that's a good, convenient place to get to. I mean, to stay at.
So did you leave your cabin steward a good tip?
Always, because he was good.
Good.
You
They
know,
sure are
if anybody-
friendly because they live on those tips.
yeah. The guy that was our cabana attendant, he works there 6 months. He goes home 2 months. He comes back for 6 months. And we ask him if he, the people on the ship, they work 6 months and then they go home for 2 months. When they come back, they could be reassigned to another ship. So they're not always on the same ship. And he was like, we asked him about that. And he said, no, he said that he always comes back there because nobody else wants to be there. Because
That's
they're on a little island, and they have a little commissary and that kind of stuff, but that's it.
They don't
That's a lot of dedication, especially if you got any kind of family, kids and stuff. To 6 months at a time, that's a big commitment.
Yeah, it is.
If you're young and single,
Yeah, if you're young and single, go for it. Like, get the hell out of your mother's basement and go get you a job on a cruise ship. They'll take care of you. You'll have to work a little bit. You'll have to work a lot.
I thought Lag was married.
Well, he makes it out like he's, just a teeny bopper still living in his, a 20-something still living in his mama's basement. I think he's the 42-year-old mother of 3.
Hmm.
I'm telling you,
But,
if Lag is less than 4 years old, I'll kiss your ass.
Lag, that should be worth a reveal right there.
He can't do it because he wouldn't get a kiss.
I hear you.
That's
Oh,
right.
Mr. said he sold some Ebis pens.
Yeah, today I'm gonna empty my trailer today. I'm gonna send those 106 copies of Candyland to Amazon today.
The game?
Yeah,
You
I
have
bought
100.
I have 106. I bought them when I was down in Georgia on that yard sale thing. I paid $1.40 a game.
Well, you just need to go out on the street corner and sell them out of your back of your truck for $5 a piece. That's about $15 cheaper. Than,
I don't want to
uh,
talk. I don't want to talk to people.
get rid of those things. Oh, like sold a scanner for $1,400. 70 pounds. What's that thing going to What's that going to cost to ship? Yeah, Craig, we know you're not young and single. Yeah, Lag might be Elvis. What was it? We were driving down. Of course, there are billboards for everything in Florida, and there was a billboard for an adult club, and you saw it. You just about saw as many of those as you did for Ron John's. And I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was really catchy.
You know what the crazy part would be? On I-95, if you are driving down I-95, you're going to see everything for south of the border. And then as soon as you clear south of the border, Buc-ee's is going to pick up for the one right there on Florence. How many billboards between the two of them do they have in a 100-mile stretch?
If those two went out of business, there's a billboard company that's going to go broke.
They're going out the belly under, that's right.
Because when you're driving to Florida from the 2695 intersection, you driving south, all you see is Buc-ee's. But when you're leaving Florida coming back towards South Carolina, all you see is south of the border. And everybody needs to go to south of the border one time.
carry a gun so they don't get killed.
Uh,
All right.
I got a good story about a strip club.
Lay it on.
Yeah, about 25 years ago, I signed my band up to go play at a music festival in Arlington, Texas. And it's between Dallas and Fort Worth. Anyway, we had 2 buses and a truck and trailer. So I got going the wrong way. I was the lead bus and I was driving. So I got going the wrong way. So I had to do a turnaround. So first big parking lot I pull into to turn around, it just happened to be Baby Doll Strip Club. And out front on blankets were cute little scantily dressed girls. And of course, all the boys on the bus I was driving crowded up on the side that they could see the action going on. So we got turned around and all the girls waved at the kids on the buses, and of course the boys were all yelling out the windows at them. Fun times. I took my band to Baby Dolls.
That's right. I'm surprised you didn't get.
What'd
You
you
didn't
do
get
on the
called before the board when you got back.
What'd you do on the band trip, Mr. Parker? Oh, I took the kids to Baby Dolls, and then we went to the music festival.
Any final words before we get out of here? I take that as a big no.
Hell no.
See you on Scott's show tomorrow. Woohoo.
Yep. We'll see you on Scott's show tomorrow. Enjoy. Bye.